Hi everybody, I'm Patty Jackson. I'm your auntie of pop culture. I go by the nickname Ginger. We always start off with a hug and come on y'all, we need it, we need it. Little longer today. It's not cute not knowing. And who would have ever thought that we would start the weekend off the way that we did, hearing the news of Chadwick Boseman. Most of you remembered, I think it was about in April, and I said we got to send and keep Chadwick in prayer. I did not know he was sick. I just know looking at this video that he put out, it was on Jackie Robinson Day, he had the number 42 hat on, that he didn't look well and it was something in his eyes. There were photos that came out that may have shown him being wheeled into a hospital, but still, no one knew what was wrong. He led quite a fight against colon cancer. 43 years old. For many who say, well, why was he quiet? I think if he admitted that he had colon cancer, he wouldn't have got that role in Black Panther. They would have passed on because he would have been seen as, oh, you're sick. You're not going to be able to do it. A lot of movie companies, you can't get insurance if you're sick. They don't want to guarantee you, that you'll have insurance. I think he wanted people to remember the work that he did in films, the work that he did in movies. And he turned out a lot. And if you look back from the very first time that he played T'Challa in the Marvel movies, maybe like 2012, 13, to the time leading up, you saw him get thinner and thinner in every role. And if you look really hard in Black Panther, I don't know how long the filming was, but you could see it there. And then you really saw it in Thurgood Marshall. And you saw it in The Five Bloods. You saw it in 21 Bridges. And you saw it in these movies that he made. We're really going to notice it in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is his last piece of work, which is coming out on Netflix before the end of the year. How did he keep it a secret? It caught everybody off guard because no one knew to the extent of how sick he was. I saw something, I just saw something in his eyes that said something serious. And sometimes you just gotta, just pray for somebody and just, keep him in your prayer, keep him in your thoughts and hope that all is well. Who knew that he had married his longtime girlfriend? At the end, he was surrounded by his wife and family, and he left us a legacy that was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Stunned Hollywood, from the likes of Denzel, who paid for him to go to school, had no idea this young man would turn out the way he did. Viola Davis, Lawrence Fishburne, the greats who just were like, he's gone. He's 43 years old. And the best is probably yet to come. Michael B. Jordan has been very quiet and very quiet for a reason. He's trying to process it and he's in a lot of pain. So for those who are saying, where's Michael B. Jordan? In due time, Michael B. Jordan will speak about the loss of his friend. Omari Hardwick, I think he kind of overstepped. We know him as Ghost Power. Saying he was ready to be the next king. Some people don't know what to say on social media. Y'all know I like Omari, so it's just like maybe sometimes you don't know what to say. And you just got to be. Gone too soon. I can't wait to see Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. But sometimes there's a reason. When you hear someone say a prayer for them. It's said because it's a reason. We also lost John Thompson, longtime Georgetown coach. It was in 1984 that he led the Hoyas to an NCAA national championship, the first African-American coach to do so. The Hall of Famer was also a champ himself, 2 times, winning championships with the Boston Celtics. I think one of the great things that stood out about John Thompson, John Thompson. He instilled so much in those players. He was that father figure if they came from a home where there was no dad or strong figure. He mentored and he poured in, not just about basketball, but about life. John Thompson was an amazing man. He was 78 years old. He will be remembered not only for the sports, but for the human side of him, the humanity side of him that poured into so many people. Rest in power forever, John Thompson, Chadwick Boseman. Mariah Carey is going to be everywhere, like literally everywhere. She's teaming up with Apple TV for a Christmas special. Mariah Carey's Magical Christmas is a special that's going to air on Apple. The Meaning of Mariah Carey is the book that comes out the end of the month, and the rarities, 30 unreleased tracks that Mariah Carey is going to be presenting to us, and that should be interesting. The John David Washington movie Tenet, it's coming to theaters in the U.S. this Labor Day weekend. It made $53 million overseas. He stars in it with Robert Pattinson. It's kind of like a thriller, action. Are people ready to go to the movies? I keep my fingers crossed. I put in so I can interview him this week about the movie Tenet. Why is Brad Pitt, and I asked this Friday, why is he dating a married woman? Brad, you know better. Brad Pitt's 56. He's dating a German model who's 27. She is married to a 68-year-old man, and they have a 7-year-old son. I ain't never going to understand nobody messing with no married woman. Power Book 2, this is the weekend, everybody. Mary J. Blige, Method Man, Michael Rainey Jr., that bad Tariq. We find out what happened to Ghost and what happens to his mother. It debuts on Stars this weekend. Now, I've got some great Power news. Power Book 4, all about Tommy. Actor Joseph Sikora is going to be entitled Power Book 4 Force. It shows Tommy saying goodbye to Los Angeles and embracing new things in Los Angeles. This is going to come right after Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. What was Kanan like as a kid? These are going to air back to back, but filming is going to be happening soon. So the story of Power continues, but this weekend, Power Book 2. Sylvester Stallone, he's going to be giving us a director's cut of Rocky 4, taking out the robot scene. This is when Paulie, his brother-in-law, became friends with a robot. There was a time when they were testing out these robots to test people's kindness factors. This robot went everywhere. When it got to Philadelphia, they beat it and destroyed it. But we're known as a city of brotherly love. I don't know what happened, but Sylvester Stallone is coming out with the director's cut on that. LaToya Luckett. Boy, she's due any day. Her husband, they said he was cheating on her. She found out at the baby shower. This is their second kid together. She's talking about her days with Destiny's Child. You know, a lot of us see her on Greenleaf and acting. LaToya used to be in Destiny's Child and got kicked out when she was 18. She says when she was kicked out of this group, she was left homeless and broke and only had ramen noodles. Eventually, Matthew Knowles and Beyonce, they settled with her. You know, she was able to get some money. But she was with the group from the start. But she's talking about those days, that time when she was broke, kicked out of Destiny's Child. Toni Braxton, she got a new album out. And, all right, she's in her 50s and she looks fabulous. But she says she wishes she had had more sex, did more drinking and more partying when she was younger because she grew up in a very tight religious background. But she says she wishes she had done more. Well, the Braxton sisters is all over the place now, so I guess she can, like, live out a lot of stuff. Melania Trump, tomorrow, the book The Rise and Fall of My Friendship with the First Lady. This book was written by a socialite, Stephanie Winston Wolkoff. She not only was a socialite, but an event planner who got $26 million out of the White House. Now, she said she only made $500,000, but she was like this close to Melania Trump. Now she's telling all the business and how Melania is looking out for herself and her son and just pushing Donald's other kids to the side, which is something that he does. But it's interesting. What kind of friend do you think is the worst? The one that you used to be friends with and they know all of your business? This book comes out tomorrow. This is going to be interesting. I don't know. You just can't really trust people if y'all used to be close and now you're not. And obviously she's going to make money off of the book by spilling secrets. But they say that Melania, it's all about her and her son and what she's going to get and what her son is going to get and her feuding with Ivanka, which is probably really interesting. And she kind of showed that last week at that RNC. A great gif is going around where she smiles and then she scrunches up her face. It was funny. It was one of those petty moments. Tomorrow is not promised. What light? A lot of people don't understand their purpose. What's your purpose? How are you going to bless somebody? How are you going to touch someone? How are you going to be remembered for what you have brought to life? I think when you look at these deaths, Chadwick Boseman, John Thompson, these were two men who led incredible lives in two different ways. But what they poured and taught into others will never, ever be forgotten. They may be gone, but these two men will never be forgotten. The channel is growing. Hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend. Leave your comments. You know that I saw it. If I heart you, I appreciate you guys. It's not cute not knowing. I'm Patty Jackson. I'm your auntie of pop culture.